want to talk about is this little survival tin that I've put together. Now, a lot of people will do these survival tins, and they'll put them in an Altoid tin, which is nice. Altoid tins are great because they're small, they're compact. You put them in a pocket, and you're good to go. But I like this one. I had this, if I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, my wallet came in this box here. So, and but I really like this box. It's a little bit larger. It's about the size of two Altoid tins, but it's the same type. It's metal, so that if you drop it, you're not gonna have to worry about too much. But alright, enough about that. Let's get into this little tin here. So the tin opens up completely, and the inside, it's you can kind of use that if you needed to as a signal mirror. You might be able to polish that up a little bit, and you get yourself a built-in signal mirror on top of it. So that's a nice addition to it. But all right, so first thing I have in here, and it's on top because usually if you use something like this, and I put this in with other kits. So make no mistake, I'm not saying that this is it. If you have this in your pocket, you're good. You're not. And anybody that tells you that doesn't know what they're talking about, because yeah, it might help, but you're not good. So, but again, here we have an emergency blanket, so that's some cover for you, so it can keep you warm. So if you do get stuck, like say you're out hiking, and you get stuck out in the weather, and you keep yourself warm and somewhat dry. These silver mylar blankets, they'll reflect the heat. So, and they do work. They do work. This is not something that's completely useless. Like a lot of things, it's not just your truck stop knives where it's like they look nice but really they're not. No, I mean that actually does the job. So we got that, and then let's say you need to be found, and maybe you hurt yourself. You could have twisted an ankle. You can't walk, and you need to get a hold of somebody. So you got yourself your little whistle there. So I don't want to do it too loud because people are sleeping. We got dogs, but we got that. Now then, and of course, if you're going to have a survival tin, you always want to have a backup little knife. So here we have this little rigid, skeletal little knife. It's a frame lock. It does lock down pretty nice. So you got that. There's a carabiner, so if you take it out, you can actually just like hook this on something. Hook it on your shirt, hook it on your belt loop, so you have it accessible. It's small enough, you can just put it in your pocket. But you have that little tiny knife there. And then I put this in here because let's say that and again, you have other stuff with you. I'm not saying that this is the end all, but you have yourself a little spork here. So it folds down. So if you have a freeze-dried meal, an MRE, something, perhaps you have the other day when I made those Nesco MREs. Well, you have your rice and your tuna, and you can mix it together, and you got it. There's your meal, and you can eat with it too. So nice little foldable spork that we got from SHTF. And then this is something that I picked up at O'Reilly's. It was on sale. I think it was on sale, but I think it was like maybe $5 or $6. But it's a little multi-tool. Now, it's not a Gerber, so it's not like, super high quality or anything, but it's not bad. It's actually pretty decent. But it's got a spring-loaded pliers. They are small needle nose, so if you need it, you can, I don't know if the pinch is tight enough to get splinters out, but you can use those to get fish hooks out or something, and it works pretty good. There's no tools on this side; it's just a housing, and you do have a carabiner. So just like with the knife, you can carabine them, as you need to. Then over here you have a little tiny Phillips screwdriver. So, and let's say that you have other items that and you need to be able to have like a small screwdriver to get inside. That little screwdriver is pretty nice. I've actually used it before to get into tight places. So, And then of course, redundancies, right? So here we have a secondary knife. Now this one doesn't lock, it just folds out. But this one is sharp enough, but I mean, I'm sure it can be sharpened more, but this one here is sharp. This is almost like a scalpel blade. This is a really fine, sharp knife, and so that one really does the trick. And then on this other side, you have flathead screwdriver. You have a file. So if you need to file something, you know, like wood or something to smooth it out, as well as you do have the obligatory bottle opener, because almost everything survival either has a bottle opener or a compass. So yes, you got that right there. Getting into a little bit more, I have some jute twine, and what I like to do with this jute twine is I'll pre-cut my lengths. So instead of having a roll of jute twine that I get my fire starter from, I just pre-cut some 4 or 5 inch lengths. And I found that just cutting a straw in half or cutting the straw down, what I did was I fit it so that it would fit inside the tin. But I just cut a straw down, and then I just kind of twist the jute twine together, and then I'm able to just stuff them up into the straw. And so, as you can see, they easily slide in and out. So if you take a piece out, fluff it up, and then you can start the fire. And what are you going to start the fire with? Well, that's the next item here. And we do have just one of these little tiny ferro rods. Now, this is not this ferro rod. I mean, it'll last you a little while. I mean, it's not going to be like, oh, 2 fires and you're done. But it is just a little tiny ferro rod. But the nice thing is that this bottle opener file, almost no effort, and you can throw yourself some good sparks off of it. So this right here, this little multi-tool, you got a really sharp knife. You can use that for like cleaning fish, processing vegetables and stuff like that. If you find them out there, you may use that to process like Nepalese and dunas, if you will, and so you have something that you can process your food with. And the other side, you can start your fire with that. Then I do have one zip tie, and there's so many different uses for zip ties that it's crazy not to have a zip tie in a survival kit. You know, you may need to strap something down, tie something off, and you got a zip tie. So it's not as good as cordage, but it's fast, it's quick, and it fits inside the tin. Now, ideally, you're going to have cordage with you somewhere else, but it's a nice addition. So, and then I just have like some little simple stuff. I've got some stomach relief, some Pepto-Bismol. I've got some hand sanitizer. A lot of uses for hand sanitizer other than just sanitizing your hands, because this does have ethyl alcohol, and so you could like put a couple little drops in with your jute twine, and that sucker's going to go up fast. So you can use that in a lot of different ways. And then we've got I got a package of Advil in here if you get a headache, or something. Whatever. Got allergy medication if you're having trouble breathing. That could come in handy. And then, of course, the next 3 items. Probably one of the most dangerous things that you could encounter if you're in a bad situation is if you get cut and it gets infected. You don't want infections. Infections will do more to damage you than a lot of things. So what I got here, I got a couple of alcohol prep pads, so you can clean the area. And then I've got 2 full strip band-aids. 2 full strip band-aids. And then I have 2 just little small square band-aids, little small rectangles. So that's good to have, because if you need to keep that cut clean, you clean the area with your alcohol prep pad, and then you cover it up with your Band-Aid. That way you keep dirt and germs out of it. So, and again, this is just this is like not for like long term by any stretch of the imagination. This is just like a quick little kit out there. And the last thing, I have an Altoid stand inside the other tin, but this one here this is kind of like a comfort tin, if you will. So, but inside here I have another carabiner because, you know, just to have a carabiner, it's, you know, you could use this to hold a lot of this stuff together so that you don't lose it. So we got a carabiner, and I have one of these little, and I know it's pretty far into the kit. If you need a light, you need the light, but we do have one of these little tiny lights, and this one actually, if you can actually actually has an on button, so you can actually like turn it on and leave it on instead of having to hold it. So, but I know these batteries, you know, they're not really interchangeable, I don't think. It does have 4 screws on the back, so it's possible you can switch the batteries out. But you got a little flashlight, and then if let's say you do manage to get some fish, or let's say not fish, let's say that, you know, you don't, because there's nothing in here to actually fish with, but let's say you find yourself some probably some crawfish or some lipids or something that you can catch with your hands to cook. Well, you have this little extra little foil there. You could wrap it up, and then you could just put it in the coals of your fire and cook it up. So a little square foil there, and then and again, remember this right here. You're going to have a separate container with this, so that's why, you know, some of this stuff here. Obviously, you know, I've got 2 bouillon cubes here, chicken bouillon. Well, there's no cup here, so you will need a separate container. But we got a couple bouillon cubes, because a lot of times if you're cold, chicken bouillon always helps. And then we got some Cafe Bustelo, so we have a little espresso coffee in there, and then we've got a couple salt packets, a couple pepper packets, just to enhance your food. We'll get to those in a minute. We've got a couple paper clips in here, just because paper clips are good for a lot of things. They're kind of like zip ties. They have a million uses, and some of those will be great for survival, you know, purposes. But then they have here, and this is just like a comfort tea. This is 2 spearmint teas, and to be honest, it might just be 1 tea, so to have a stronger spearmint flavor. But again, if you're cold and you're in a bad situation, tea is you know, it can boost your spirits. But since we got that, I also have a couple sugars and a couple sweeteners. So if I am with somebody else and we do split the, you know, let's say you got the coffee, you got the tea, you got sweetener, you got sugar. So that way you can sweeten your item up so that you can enjoy it just a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and get this put back in here. But yeah, so that's, like I said, this is just a little tiny enhancement kit to go with other things. So, and one of the reasons why I do keep the light in here is so that it doesn't get depressed and you lose your battery. So, but as you can see, that closes up nicely. Got your Altoid tin. Your Altoid tin goes right in there, and then you can just put your alcohol prep pads, your Band-Aids. Everything fits in. And the fact that it's a little bit larger tin, you know, you can hold a little bit more in here. And I know that it's like if you go to like, I don't know, Ross, Burlington, a lot of these stores that have like wallets and like the watch, you know, boxes and stuff. A lot of them will come in these metal tins like this. And you know, a lot of people, you may just throw the tin away, you know, and say, yeah, you know, I got the wallet, so I'm just going to throw it away. But I like to reuse as much as I can, because if you're going to pay for it, You may as well use as much of everything if you can. Just like, and I keep going back to the tuna can burners, but that's just such a perfect example of using every part of something that you pay for, because you eat the tuna and then you use the can to cook another meal later, so, or to keep you warm. So it's just, you gotta use everything you can. There you go. And there you go. I do have some Ranger bats coming to keep that close a little bit better, but it's a nice little thing to think about. And a lot of these, they have to be unique to you, because there's a lot of good ideas out there, but you want to make them unique to you. And but reusing everything that you can is great, especially with today's economy. The economy's not doing good. There's shortages everywhere. Our local market, they're having issues getting tomatoes and squash because of the shortages. Where I work, we don't have squash right now, so we're having to use something else in place of the squash in recipes because there's a shortage of them. And I can foresee these shortages coming more frequently and getting worse and worse. And that's why just doing your own little preps for everything is so important. And when you think about prepping, there's this whole romantic idea about these survivalists, long pushing, but that's not what it's about. It's about just making sure that you and your family is taken care of. That's all prepping is. So if you go to the store, and if you have a shopping list, and your shopping list it says 6 cans of green beans. We'll get 7 or 8 cans and take that extra can or two and just completely set it aside in a separate area and say, okay, that's it. I'm going to start my prepping there. And because it has to start somewhere. So just buy, or let's say, you go down your list, you got green beans, corn, mixed vegetables, and you're getting 6 of everything. So you're just getting maybe a whole box of them. Well, buy that extra can. And if you're thinking about survival aspects of it, and the ability to build a pantry up like that, then what you should do is I like to get my vegetables at Dollar General. And get 3 cans for $2, which is that's pretty good. Especially in today's economy. So prepping is great, and making little kits like this is I do it because I like it. I think it's fun to think about what I can get in here. What can I get in here that can make any trip a little bit nicer? What happens if my car breaks down and all I have is what I have in the car? Well, this right here, you got a lot of extra stuff in this little tiny place. You put a couple Ranger bands on here to hold it down, but you could put something like this in your glove box and just have the basics. Okay, what can I do? Okay, open it up. It's cold. I got an emergency blanket. I got a little flashlight. I can make a fire. So, but that's it for this week. So that's our. I guess that's our little project. I built this little tin. And if you have tins that you built, I'd be interested in hearing about them. Because everybody does them in their own unique way, I think. They may all have this or they may all have that, but I think they all do them in their own unique way. And I like watching these videos from other people as well. So I know that there's a lot of great ideas out there, and part of the prepping community is sharing our ideas so other people that are deciding to prep can get some ideas and do better for yourself. Because if everybody does a little bit of prepping, it'll be just such an ease on everybody else. So there's that. Right now I am working on a pretty fun project, but it's taking a little bit longer. If I were to just sit down and do the project, it would probably take 4, 5, 6 hours, and obviously I'm not making a 6 hour long video. So I'm just doing like the important steps along the way of this project, and then I'm going to link all those together. So it might be a little bit of a weird transition between some of the phases, but I'm keeping it in order, and we're going to bring that project to you. So, but I am building something pretty that I've wanted to personally build for a long time, and then the project idea fell in my lap, and so that's what we're going to be doing. So look forward to that one. Oh, and Wednesday, there's going to be 2 videos this Wednesday. So, of course, Wednesdays are our openings, our unboxings, however you want to call it. So Wednesday, we'll be starting with that, the 6 a.m. video, and then we're going to have a 6 p.m. video, and that's going to be a first Wednesday of the month video moving forward. So the first Wednesday of the month is going to have 2 videos guaranteed. But anyway, if you're not already, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you like watching things like this build, if you like watching people open up the subscription boxes, this is a good place to come. It's something that I'm going to be doing for a long time. I have a lot of fun out of it, and that I just got. I was having some. I couldn't get it. The interview light that Gearpack sent out just never worked right. So they all came, corroded and just all beat up. So Gearpack sent me, in place of that, to Gearpack's great credit, their customer service was a little bit slow, but it was good, and they ended up sending me one of those over the back car seat things, but all of the pouches come off of it. So I'm gonna use those pouches. I'm gonna try to build a belt using those Gearpack pouches to see what I can do. But anyway, so go ahead and leave me a comment, and give me that thumbs up and share the video out, like the video, all that good stuff. But got a lot of stuff coming up. It's kind of crazy right now, but I got through the first month, and so I got 11 months to go. So 11 months of at least one video every day coming to you, and I'm just having so much fun doing this. So, but at any rate, so that's enough for that. You have a great day, and